Hello and welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Last part we went through and did some more searching around the park. Got to talk to the boat caretaker. And there may be some strange relations between him and the DL6 case. We'll see what connection he has with this current case. Also, CapCut is back working, so I can edit normally. I think only one part was edited with the original editor, and those files are just larger for some reason than the CapCut ones, so glad to be back on this one. It's just easier to edit on CapCut. Alright, let's continue. Oh, I have to voice the old man again, I think. Okay, December 27th, 10 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 3. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Miles Edgeworth. Defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well. Apparently the prosecution is also ready. Who's the judge here anyway? Mr. Von Karma, your opening statement. Very well. No opening statement, so... Not so fast, Judge. I am taking a meaningful pause before speaking. Right, of course. A prediction. Today's trial will end 3 minutes from now. Order! Order! Mr. Von Karma, what is the meaning of your statement just now? Must you question everything? It will be over in 3 minutes. We have no time to waste. He wants this trial fucking over. I'll call my witness now. Yeah, right. I called my witness, my decisive witness, to the stand. It's that mysterious boat shop owner. Witness, state your profession. And the prior- oh god, what voice did I fucking give him? The proprietor of the restaurant, the Wet Noodle at Gourd Lake. I'm remembering. It's kicking in. And I also rent boats. The night of the incident, you were in the boat rental shop, correct? Yep, I was. Please testify. Wait a second. I still haven't heard who this old guy is. Raise objection. Objection! Wait a minute. The witness hasn't stated his name yet. Because I did not ask him, Mr. Wright. I have predicted this trial will end in 3 minutes. You don't want us to know. Stop asking trivial questions and cooperate. This is not legal. I don't think this is legal in any means. Yeah, right. The witness will state his name. Well, I'm not really sure, yep. What do you mean? By, memory. Your Honor, the witness does not remember anything beyond the last several years. Ergo, he cannot recall his own name. Alright. He can't recall, you say? Yes, but the incident in question took place 3 days ago. He can testify. Very well. Let's hear his testimony then, shall we? Witness. Oh boy. Night of the murder. It was the night of the 24th, just after midnight, yep. I remember. I was in the restaurant where I rent boats as usual. Then I heard a bang. Yep. Then I looked out the window and I saw a boat just floating on the lake. Then I heard another bang. Just about then the boat comes back to shore and a man walks by my window. Okay. Very well. I'd like to begin the cross-examination. There's nothing to question in my witness's testimony. Ergo, no need for cross-examination. You cannot do this. You and your stupid-ass fake turquoise earring. Yeah, I know what you are. Besides, there are only 10 seconds left before our 3 minutes are up. I gotta go get lunch. I have a date. Judge, your verdict now. Yes, no. Mr. Wright? Cross-examine. Fuck that. Mr. Von Karma, you can go to hell. What do you say? Of course I'll cross-examine the witness. Very well, you may begin. Fuck! That's exactly pretty much. I'm gonna say that's what he said. Excuse me, Mr. Von Karma? 3 minutes just passed. I see. Well then, let's just take our time. You may cross-examine the witness. The night of the murder. Okay. It was the night of the 24th, just after midnight. Yep. I was in the restaurant where I rent boats, usual. Then I heard a bang. And I looked up the window and I saw a boat just floating on the lake. I heard another bang. Just about then, boat came back to shore and a man walks by my window. By your window? Yep. By the window. Right outside the window of my little shack. And could you see the man's face? Well, the fog was pretty darn thick, but he was right there in front of me. I saw him. This is rather important detail. Please add it to your testimony. Tisk, tisk, tisk. I have a bad feeling about this. That man was the defendant. He was saying, I can't believe he's dead. How do you hear? Oh, you were... Are you sure? Uh-oh. Dad! That's certain, Keith. He said, I can't believe he's dead as he was walking by, too. Witness, are you sure that the person you saw was Miles Edgeworth? It was him! That Edgeworth boy! Well, this is a fucking disaster. This sounds like decisive evidence indeed. I see no room for doubt. Fuck Karma. He lured me into cross-examining so he could set me up for a fall. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Nick, I don't like the way things are going here. Everyone in the courtroom is glaring at us, and I remember that I'm in here too. Better act quick or this trial's gonna be over. Hi-ya! Your Honor, we proved in yesterday's trial that it could not have been Edgeworth who fired that gun. Mr. Wright, are you referring to the fingerprints from Edgeworth's right hand found on the gun? And the photograph showing a man firing with his left hand? Exactly. That is easily explainable. What's not? He could have wiped his prints after he fired. But then why have... But he still has prints on it. That wouldn't matter. He still has prints on the gun. You are ignoring the truth of the matter here. Everything in this witness's testimony is true. He does not seem like a reliable witness, though. Just was lost in thought. What should I do? Again! Again! Your Honor, this witness claims that Edgeworth said, I can't believe he's dead. But his word is all we have. If he were telling a lie, Mr. Wright, in a court of law, the evidence tells all. Apparently you have yet to realize even this basic fact. If you say his testimony is a lie, show us proof. Nick, do we have evidence? It's no good. There's nothing I can do. Are you sure? To be honest, I don't know what to do anymore. Please! Can you hear me, sis? Please! We need your help! Nick needs you! Tisk, tisk, tisk. 3 minutes was perhaps too high of an expectation. However, 15 minutes isn't bad. This must be a new record. Enough! The witness may leave the stand. This court seems no reason to further prolong the trial. Nor is there any need for more time to decide the case against the defendant. This case is extremely clear. I see no room for misinterpretations of the facts. What? No! This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth. No! The accused will surrender to the court immediately. To be held pending trial at the higher court within a month from today's date. That is all. This court is adjourned. Huh? No. Wait! Wait, I think I know who this is. Who was that just now? Me! Huh? I think I know who this is. What? Yes! He technically counts as a third witness. Larry? What are you doing here? Didn't we already send you to jail? No, that's not what happened. Listen, you gotta listen to me. I was there in the park the night of the murder. I wasn't sure about it until just yesterday. But today I remembered it. Remembered what? The gunshot! I heard it too! Hell yeah, Larry! Order! What is the meaning of this? The verdict has been decided. I call for adjournment. One moment, Mr. Von Karma. So you say you heard a gunshot? Yeah, I did. A gunshot that night. I was sitting here in the audience listening to the testimony. Then I realized something he said was different from what I remembered. Anyhow, I can't just sit here and let you call Edgy a murderer. It's just not right. I'll testify. Let me testify. Order. Order. Well, this is the first time something has happened like this in my court. I'm not quite sure how to proceed. Don't proceed! Judge, you have already given your decision. The trial is over. Nick! This is it! Larry's given us one final chance at this. That's right. If only it wasn't Larry. But he was there. If he gets something, he could make things even worse. Mr. Edgeworth was just declared guilty, Nick. It doesn't get any worse. You're right. Okay, it can't get any worse than this. Sorry. I still got a bit of a cough. Your Honor, if there is another witness, it is our duty to hear him speak. Right here, right now. A waste of time. You can't fuck, the thing is, he can't fuck with this witness. You have no time to fuck with him. He's gonna tell us everything we need to know. The verdict cannot be overturned. I'm gonna overturn it. Allow me to speak my opinion. In all court proceedings, it is our duty to prevent an inaccurate verdict. In order to make sure no mistakes has been made, every witness should be heard. What is this? It's fucking justice, man. Ever heard of it? I withdraw my previous verdict of guilty. Hell yeah. Mr. Von Karma, I order you to call this new witness to testify. Now. What? The court will adjourn for 5-minute recess. I'm gonna play on the carousel. After that, we will hear this new witness. Court is adjourned. December 27th, 10:28 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 2. Phew. That was too close. Sorry to keep you on the edge of your seat like that, Edgeworth. I've seen worse. Yeah, right, Edgeworth. You're sweating bullets. I just wonder what Larry plans to say in there. Larry was at the lake that night. Yes. He said he went looking for the steel samurai balloon that flew into the lake. Oh, right. And he found the balloon in the air tank that night. Yeah. Hey, Edgeworth. Huh? You say something right. Yeah, a lot of things. You seem out of it. What's wrong? It's nothing. Mr. Edgeworth, there's something I've been meaning to ask you. What's that? Why are your fingerprints on the murder weapon? Oh. I mean, he probably just, like, picked it up. That's about it. When he fell into the lake, I went into a daze. I couldn't understand what had happened. I couldn't think straight. Then I saw the pistol lying on the floor on the boat in front of me. On the floor of the boat in front of me. I picked it up without thinking. I didn't have a reason, really. I see. Right. Yeah? This might be our chance. Our chance? But Karma has only ever run perfect trials. Perfect trials? Perfectly prepared witnesses, perfectly complete evidence. That's the secret to his success. This is the first time he's ever had to deal with something unexpected. He has to let someone he hasn't even talked to testify before the court. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He can't mess with this one witness. That someone is Larry. This is he's gonna be MVP this trial. What are you getting at? It's likely his testimony will be full of holes, right? That's right, Nick. No 10-minute trial this time. We'll milk this one for all it's worth. Hey, it was 15 minutes. 15. Everything's on Larry now. Alright, get back in there. Alright. December 27th, 10:35 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 3. Court is now back in session. Witness, please testify to the court about everything that you saw on the night of December 24th. Right. Leave it to me. Please, Larry, don't mess this one up. I hate to admit it, but you're our last chance. But Karma didn't even have time to prep this witness. I just hope Edgeworth is right about this being our big break. Alright, the night of the murder. That night, I was out in a boat on the lake. I was looking for something and I found it. So I quietly slipped the boat back in at the rental shop dock. Then, just as I was thinking about going home, I heard this bang. I looked out over the lake, but I didn't see a boat. So after I heard that single gunshot, I went home. Huh. That was an unusually vague testimony even for this court. In any case, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. What's wrong, Nick? It's Larry. I have no idea what he's going to say if I press him. I'm a little scared. Well, we've come this far. There's no way to go but forwards, Nick. So I think immediately I know where I need to hit. Alright, I was at the lake, I was looking for something, so I quickly slipped the boat back. Then just as I was about to go thinking about going home, I heard this bang. I looked out over the lake, but I didn't see a boat. So after I heard this single gunshot, I went home. I believe Lana's at this position. I heard 2 sounds like gunshots just after midnight on the 25th. Oh, wait a sec, Larry. What? You only heard 1 bang? You're sure? That's what I said. But Miss Lana Hart testified yesterday that she heard 2 bangs. And the old man just now said the same thing. They both heard 2 gunshots that night. Remember the gun being fired 3 times? Huh? Were you even listening? Were you paying attention at all to what they said? Yo, Nick, please. Huh. You know something's been bothering me. I'm a witness, see? I'm like a customer here. So you just got to treat me nice and stuff, okay? Mr. Butts. What? You only heard 1 gunshot. Are you sure? Well, to tell you the truth, I'm not sure. Not sure? How could you not be sure? Yeah, well, I might have missed the other gunshot. I was listening to something else. Something else? My radio, dude. You with my headphones. What? No, but this... Order, and stop that booing. Leave this poor little guy alone. We're gonna hear him out. Let him cook. Mr. Butts, you were listening to the radio with your headphones? Yeah, so what? That a crime? I listen to my radio. Everyone listens to the radio. What's the big deal? Mr. Von Karma, your opinion? Waste of time. I do not accept this witness nor his shoddy testimony. Well, Mr. Wright, should he continue the testimony? Yes, continue. Your Honor, please allow the witness to continue his testimony. Bah! Nothing is more pitiful than a lawyer who doesn't know when he's lost. Very well, Mr. Butts. Please give your testimony. Be sure to include details like your radio. Yeah, right! Leave it to me. Okay. I wouldn't if there were any other way out of this, believe me. Alright, what Larry heard. It's only being alone on Christmas Eve. That's why I was listening to an Oliver Quest show on the radio, see? I was listening to it all real booming loud like. But I'm sure I heard that gunshot. I remember exactly what the DJ was saying when I heard it too. Okay. You're listening to your radio at a high volume? Yeah, what's the big problem? Can a man listen to his radio, bees? Isn't this a free country? I truly believe Larry has no idea what the problem here is. Judge, can you believe a word this witness says? What he heard was probably nothing more than a drumbeat from the radio. True enough, it is difficult to believe this testimony. Wait, Your Honor. The witness said he remembers exactly what the DJ said when he heard the gunshots. Excuse me? DJ? An announcer, the guy who says things on the radio. Anyway, what this means is when he heard the gunshot, no music was playing. The DJ only talks between songs, so he could have heard the gunshot from the lake. I'd like to cross-examine the witness, Your Honor. Very well, Mr. Wright. Can't believe I'm continuing this charade. No, but let's get information on that, though. What did he say? What did she say? Mr. Wright, please cease these pointless questions. What possible good could knowing what a radio DJ said do us? Indeed, Mr. Von Karma has a point. I'll allow the question only if you see some reason why we should care. I think we should care. I think we should. We should care, Your Honor. Of course we should. Why? Well, how do you know if we don't ask, Fine, very well. Mr. Butts, please testify to the court. What was the radio announcer saying when you heard the gunshot? Just when she said, hey, it's almost Christmas, I heard the gunshot. Ah, yeah. It's almost Christmas. Meaning it wasn't Christmas. Lana said that she heard 2 shots after midnight past Christmas. Larry heard one before Christmas. That's a little weird. Larry, are you absolutely sure what you're saying is correct? Huh? What's with the face? You look scary, dude. Hey, if you're trying to scare me, you better know I don't scare that easy. Is something the matter, Mr. Wright? Your Honor, did you hear what the witness just said? The DJ said, hey, it's almost Christmas when he heard the gunshot. Indeed, and almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas! Yay! Do you realize what this means? When he heard the gunshot, it was still Christmas Eve. That would seem to be the case, yes. But that contradicts the 2 testimonies we have heard so far, Your Honor. Both Miss Hart and the old man said it was after midnight when they heard the shots. In other words, when they heard the gunshots, it was already Christmas. This is a clear contradiction, Your Honor. Order, order! What does this mean? The 2 prior witnesses heard gunshots after midnight. However, this witness says he heard a gunshot before midnight. Judge, that answer is simple. The current witness is plainly mistaken. Just look at him. Suspicious. What? Well, Mr. Wright, what do you think about Mr. Butt's claims he heard the gunshot before midnight? I think he's correct. Larry's not mistaken, Your Honor. He heard that gunshot before midnight. Intriguing. I was assuming you have evidence for this wild claim. Show me evidence there was a gunshot before midnight. The pistol itself was fired 3 times. 2 were after midnight. 1 was on Christmas Eve. This is my evidence. The murder weapon? Something about this pistol was bothering me, Your Honor. Both of the witnesses who testified yesterday heard 2 gunshots. However, the murder weapon was fired 3 times. When, then, was the last shot fired? Only now have I realized the truth. That 3rd shot was the shot Larry heard just before midnight. Order, order. Guess that would make sense out of yesterday's testimonies. Bah! You waste our time with your empty statements. Yes, the pistol was fired 3 times. But do you have any proof that it was fired before midnight? Do you have proof that the witness didn't just think he heard something? Indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, there's no turning back now. Do you have evidence that proves there was a gunshot before midnight? Do you have evidence that proves Mr. Butts wasn't just hearing things? What is it? Do I have it? Oh, the second lake photo shows an empty lake taken automatically at 12:24 at 11:50 p.m. So there was another gunshot. There was just only 2 photos. Look at this photograph. Look at this. I'm not gonna do this joke again. This was taken by our witness yesterday, Miss Lotta Hart, with her automatic camera. The timestamp on the photo reads December 24th, 11:50 p.m. Oh, yeah? But there's nothing on the lake in this picture. I know, yeah, I'm remembering what I know from the anime, but I'm also just, like, piecing it together as I go. I see what's happening. Your Honor, the real issue here is not why nothing is shown in this photograph. It's why this photograph exists at all. What do you mean? Your Honor, this photograph was taken by an automatic camera. That camera was set to go off in response to loud noises. Aha! Correct. There was a loud noise on the lake at 11:50 p.m. That is why this photo was taken. In other words, there was a gunshot at the time that Larry claims. Order, order. That would make sense of the evidence we've seen so far. However, this leaves me wondering exactly what did happen that night on the lake. Exactly. If this is true, there were 2 sets of gunshots separated by 25 minutes. One at 11:50, another at 15 minutes after midnight. Why, I ask you, why? Oh, I better think of something quick. Wait a second. Gunshots separated by 25 minutes. Ah! What's wrong, Nick? I have it. I have it. Huh? Remember the case with the Steel Samurai? Huh? Yeah, of course, I remember. The murderer in this case had the same idea as the murderer in that case. What do you mean? Maya. Yes? If we don't figure this out now, we'll never overturn Edgeworth's guilty verdict. I've got a hunch, and I'm gonna run with it. Right, I mean, is this safe? Safe? We've already gotten a guilty verdict. We have nothing to lose. You just watch and let me know if I say anything that sounds fishy, okay? Right, Nick. Your Honor? Yes, Mr. Wright? The testimony just now has cleared up this entire case. What do you mean, Mr. Wright? Tisk, tisk, tisk. So you finally realized the truth. Oh, do you mean that you knew? There can be no other murderer here than Miles Edgeworth himself. Okay, so he's just talking shit. Wrong, Von Karma. A man was shot that night, but it wasn't Edgeworth who did the shooting. No. Listen, rookie. Take a deep breath and consider the facts. At the time of the murder, one boat was on that lake. This was shown by the witness's photograph. The defendant Edgeworth and the victim Robert Hammond were on that boat. There was a gunshot fired on that boat and Robert Hammond fell into the lake. The distance of the shooting was 1 meter. Couldn't have been suicide. Well, the guilty party has to be the other man on that boat. I admit it is hard to imagine any other possibility. Yes, but this assumes that the victim was shot at 15 minutes after midnight. What do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? We have photograph evidence of the time of the shooting. Oh, this is the judge. The timestamp on the photo says 11:15. Mid 12:15. But Larry heard a gunshot 25 minutes before that. Robert Hammond was killed then, 25 minutes before the shot on the lake. It's the only way that Edgeworth could be innocent. Mr. Wright, are you quite mad? Explain who the two men on the boat are. I think it's Edgeworth and the actual murderer. Of course it was Edgeworth and the murderer. After the murderer killed Robert Hammond at 11:50, he assumed the guise of Mr. Hammond and met Edgeworth. What? Are you serious? Yes, Edgeworth won't tell us why he went to the lake that night. However, I have a hunch. That night, Robert Hammond called Edgeworth to the lake. Now, Edgeworth didn't know Robert Hammond's face that well. That's why he didn't suspect anything when the murderer took Robert Hammond's place. I'm not sure what to make of all this. Ludicrous. No, not the- I don't care about the artist, Mr. Von Karma. I need to know about how I feel about this case. Mr. Wright, tell us the name of the murderer then. The murderer's name? Right, it's... I don't know his name, actually. Actually, I don't know the murderer's name. You don't know? Bah! Again, you waste my time. I don't know because he never told us. The murderer is the caretaker of the boat shop, that old man. At 11:50, he was the one who killed Robert Hammond. The caretaker of the boat shop? Where did he do this? There weren't any boats out on the lake then. Why would he have to go all the way out on the lake to just shoot someone? May I suggest that the real scene of this crime was not on a boat? What? Well, then where did the murder take place? Show the judge where the murder really took place. I believe it had to have taken place here. It could not have taken place here because Lotta was here. And it couldn't have taken place here because Larry was around here. And the only place the boat shopkeeper could have been is here. Here, of course, the boat shop where he lives. That way he can meet with the victim without anyone seeing. Do you have proof that the boat shop was the scene of the crime? Recall Larry's testimony, if you will. Little boat. That night, he was out on the lake in a boat searching for something. He finds it and returns the boat. Then, just as he's starting to head for home, he hears a gunshot. He heard a gunshot, Your Honor, even though he was wearing headphones at the time. In other words, the gunshot was very, very close by. And where would that be if he had just returned the boat? This was not my line of thinking, but it works. The boat shop. Mr. Wright. Yeah? What happened that night on Gourd Lake? Please tell the court from the beginning. Yes, Your Honor. Nick, are you sure about this? Not really. But I think if I start at the very beginning, and I take it slow, I might just be able to figure this out. That night, the caretaker of the boat shop called Robert Hammond to his shop. Bang! I'm gonna get you! This was around 11:50. That was when the gunshot that Larry heard was fired. After that, the caretaker puts on Robert Hammond's coat. He became Robert Hammond. Then he got in the boat with Edgeworth and went out into the middle of the lake. Then who fired the pistol on that boat, Mr. Wright? The boat shop caretaker. It could not have been Miles. Of course it was the murderer who shot the pistol. He shot twice, both Miss Edgeworth on purpose. Wait a minute. Yes? Why would he shoot twice if he didn't mean to hit anyone? Details. Note this, Mr. Wright. The moment you run out of explanations is the moment you lose. Tell us why the murderer had to fire twice. To create a witness. I believe he shot twice to create a witness, Your Honor. Just so that there was enough that someone had to look. Create a witness? The murderer lifts his pistol and fires one shot. That ensures that anyone who heard the shot would look at the lake. Indeed, Miss Hart did exactly that after hearing the first gunshot. Next, the murderer waits a bit and fires again. Then, he jumps into the lake. The murderer jumps from the boat himself, leaving the pistol in the boat behind him. I see. To someone looking from the edge of the lake, it would appear that one of the men on the boat had shot the other. The murderer didn't know about the automatic camera, of course. That's why he shot twice to draw attention to the boat. Once you realize that, everything else falls into place. The boat shop caretaker swam back to his shop. Then he put Mr. Hammond's wet coat back on the body and threw the body into the lake. This is what happened, Your Honor. These are the evidence that transpired that night on Gourd Lake. Holy fuck! Bailiff, bring out the witness from before. The boat shop caretaker, quickly. Very well. While we are waiting for the caretaker, I would like to ask the defendant, Miles Edgeworth, a few questions. Mr. Edgeworth, please take the stand. He's on the stand, oh my god. Mr. Edgeworth, you heard what the defense has said? Yes. Well, why did you go to the lake that night? What Wright has said was mostly correct. Astonishingly so, actually. Yes. Several days ago I received a letter. The letter was signed Robert Hammond. He asked me to come to the boat shop by the lake at midnight on Christmas Eve. He said he had something very important to discuss with me. Something important? I'm sorry, can't say what it was. Your Honor, sir! Bailiff, we are conducting a trial here. I ask that you remain quiet. The witness has disappeared. He isn't at the boat shop either. What? What should I do? Find him, quickly. Cannot allow him to get away. Look at him, he's standing up straight, little guy. Mr. Von Karma, your witness has disappeared. Fuck. A search warrant has already been issued. It goes without saying that I cannot declare a verdict under these circumstances. I will extend the trial until tomorrow, the final day allowed. I request that the police department utilize all its forces to find that witness. Am I understood? One more thing. Just who is that boat shop caretaker? I think his identity has become very important to this trial. I want him, and I want to know who he is. Very well. Court is adjourned. Larry MVP! December 27th, 1:22 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. Yay, Nick, you did it! Yeah. Well, at least we got out from under that guilty verdict. And what about Larry? That was something else. Even Von Karma didn't know what to do with his testimony. Larry really helped us out. Sure, once I sifted through his unique testimony. Still, he did save us. I just wish our cases weren't so down to the wire all the time. I know what you mean. Sometimes I feel like it's us on trial instead of our clients. Hey, Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth? Did you say something? Don't look so pained. I mean, it looks like you're probably going to get off the hook. You could try to smile just a little. Relax. I'm sorry, but I fear it's not over for me yet. What do you mean? Right. There's something that's been troubling me for a long time now. I don't know whether or not to tell you. Edgeworth? No, there's so little time left. I want to tell you, to get it off my chest, but I can't make up my mind. It's okay, Edgeworth. You can just tell me you love me, and then we can get this over with, and we can get you home. Some tea. No, fuck. Phoenix. What is this about, Edgeworth? It's a nightmare I've had. A memory of a crime that I committed. A crime you committed? A memory of a murder. No! Oh no! I like acting surprised, but still, this has still been really fun to play, even if I am like very aware of everything. But that will do it for this part. We gotta do some more investigating on our little on dear old dad, or the boat caretaker. Just who is he, and what is Miles Edgeworth on about a murder he committed? We won't figure some of that stuff out for a little bit, but yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.